Thank you for listening to Community Focus this week. My guest is public artist Lloyd Gorodeski, whose latest project, called Let Love Guide Your Way, is a giant weather vane that represents universal love and kindness. So, Lloyd, how do you put that message into a weather vane?
Every aspect of the weather vane has a meaning. The first part is the base. It is supposed to represent a human form. And in each section of the base, there are 3 hearts, and the number 3 represents family. The total number of hearts are 24, which represents total community and world.
My. So I have the chills. And the thing that you still haven't said is that the weather vane itself is shaped like a heart.
Yeah, so the top part, or the second feature, is the Cupid arrow. It's not just an arrow, it's a Cupid arrow. Cupid is so much meaning in all forms of a Greek and Roman culture.
It's kind of mind-boggling to me, all of the thought that goes into the creation. There's so much meaning.
Let Love Guide Your Way is a way to remind people, and hopefully you're heading in the direction of universal love and compassion.
What is kindness? What is universal love? Are the two inextricably linked together? Does one lead to the other? What began as a kinetic art project by artist Lloyd Gorodeski evolved into an exploration of universal love and kindness. Kindness, by definition, is a noun, a kind, considerate, or helpful act. One can act with kindness. One can bestow a kindness on another. Authors, poets, presidents, and philosophers have all written about kindness, its impact on people, its influence in relationships, the role it has played as the world has evolved into a global community.
What is your definition of universal love? And I realize that in my exploration of kindness, that everyone has their own definition. I want people to be open-minded when they discuss this definition. I want them to be broadening their mind, expanding their mind, because the definition of universal love is all-encompassing. It includes kindness, it includes truthful, it includes respect for one another, it includes tolerance, it includes love, and the love that is not just relationship love, but the love for each one of us and each other.
What does universal love mean to you?
Universal love. I guess I'd look at that as a mutual respect and kindness.
Universal love is love for everything and everybody. We're all connected. We're all a part of the universe. And if we put love into the universe, it'll give it back to us.
Love is patient. It's kind. It's not boastful. It does not envy. And it's understanding. It's respectful.
My definition of universal love, I think, would be patience, kindness, I guess doing for others exactly the way you would want them to do for you. Just being really kind and nice.
Universal love is basically what it says. It's universal. That's the beauty of universal love. It's one of the only things that literally touches every soul on this planet, in the universe. How love is able to touch every living thing in existence. And we all feel that love. It's very special and very, very deep.
To begin a conversation about kindness, it's important for people to be in that mindset of kindness. So I decided to ask the follow-up question to be if they've ever experienced kindness, and not just kindness from someone loving, that's a different type of kindness, but kindness from a complete stranger. Have you ever just walked out the door and experienced a situation where it just surprised you because someone did something that made your day? Someone who you don't know. The question of have I ever experienced kindness from a stranger always makes me stop, because when I was thinking of the answer to that question, I couldn't come up with one. It took me a lot of time. But once I stopped and thought, I realized I experience kindness every day. every second, as long as I open up my mind, as long as I'm receptive to it, I realize that kindness is in fact all around us. It's when we are operating in a mind of our own zone that we lose the mindfulness of what's happening around us.
Have you ever experienced kindness from a stranger? How did it make you feel?
Kindness from a stranger. Just hearing that question, it's amazing, because kindness from someone that you never thought you would be blessed from, or kindness unexpectedly, is definitely something that I have experienced. I remembered just a tear. I shared a tear because it was so unexpected. And I really believe that that is the ultimate kindness, when it's not expected, when it is done from a place of humility. It really blesses not just the person who is giving, but also the recipient. So I definitely love that.
We were walking around Chicago with Mom. Somebody stopped us and thought that we were lost and was like, "Oh, can I help you find something?" And that was really nice. We were both like huddled over my phone, so it might have looked like we were like looking at the GPS for directions. So like, and we also definitely probably looked like we didn't live in the city. It's nice to know that like if I was lost, I could ask somebody and they would help me.
I remember when I was going to high school in upstate New York in blizzards, and I would hitchhike. That was back in the days of the hippies, and people would be kind and they would stop and warm up. And sometimes I even had somebody who had coffee in the car said, "You want a few sips? You look cold." It made me feel like I was a person, not just any person, but special. And I think we all like to feel special.
All acts of kindness always kind of surprise me, because I think in general, nowadays, people have a sense of meanness to them. I don't think they mean to be mean, but they're not in a mindful set, and it just comes out in a way of intolerance. So when I experience kindness from strangers, when I'm walking down the street and someone helps me with the simplest act or gesture, in a sense, it shocks me, because sometimes when someone's being kindness and it makes me be on guard, I'm wondering, why are they being kind? And then I have to stop myself and say, wow, this person is being kind and helpful, and appreciate the moment. And when I do, and when I'm receptive to it, it just is the most euphoric experience that anyone could have.
Statistics show there are now more internet searches about meanness than there are about kindness. Is this the direction we're destined to go? Can we simply make a U-turn back in the direction of kindness?
The fourth question that we came up with on how would the world be different if there was more kindness put a lot of thought, because I wanted to ask people what they thought would happen if we lived in a kinder world. I wanted them to be in an imaginary state. I wanted them to be suggestive and be wishful and hopeful. And I decided to word the question to be in a positive, realistic way where we can really, truly envision that to happen. So when the world is kinder, it will be better in every way. There will be not just less famine, more feasting for all, but less wars, more tolerance, more loving and care for each other. There will be not just less disease, but less sickness. And that's the reason and the motivation for the project, Let Love Guide Your Way. There is a reason to the art piece. There is a direction for love. Love is not a heart shape that is just up and down. It is a directional heart guiding us all to be kinder, tolerant, and believe that we can, in fact, live in a better world.
How would the world be different if there was more kindness?
I think really no fighting, no wars, no getting on people's backs for things that are stupid and unnecessary, letting everybody live peacefully the way they want to live.
I think that it would be a lot more like peaceful, a lot less violence, a lot less road rage. I think people would have more patience, which would make it like a lot more harmony, peaceful harmony among people.
If we could all be kinder to each other instead of being meaner to each other, and if we could collaborate, think of the things we could accomplish, what this world could accomplish if countries worked together, if they were kind to each other instead of always fighting for power.
And to war and violence throughout the world, that only kindness can bring an end to that.
This fifth question was designed to be a motivational question for people to want to take action and speak and do.
If you could do or say something kind for someone right now, what would it be?
What would I do to someone that is very kind if I could do it right now? I think if I could, I would love to see a lot of the people that have faced such a horrible winter without housing, without a place to live. I'd like to see them get some kind of habitat for them where they could gather themselves and go forward and make a life for themselves versus being on the street and having to take drugs and drink to shake the cold off, because if they aren't numb, then it just hurts too bad.
If I could always do the right thing and always help people in a good way, that would make them have a great day and have a better moment. Would be really nice and fulfilling.
If I could actually perform an act of kindness, I would want to help somebody who was struggling, whether it was providing a shoulder to cry and support for somebody else, or maybe even financially if I could, but I feel I can't really do that. But always just kind of being there for somebody would be kind of an act of kindness I'd like to do. Yeah.
I would tell someone today that they're beautiful and that they matter, and that beauty is really, it's something that's on the inside more so than that's on the outside. And I think when people begin to understand that they're beautiful inside, it reflects on the outside, and they begin to love people in a better way. And so really, I want to tell you that who's watching this today, that you're beautiful and that you matter, and that there's somebody rooting for you, and to keep going and keep pushing because you're awesome.
And I would like to say to you that you are beautiful inside and out, and you truly matter.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a part of this project.
Thank you. Thank you, Lord.
That's cute. It was cute. I love it.
The message of kindness is in my art. If I could say something kind, it would truly be, let love guide your way. It would truly be, listen to the words. And anytime you're in a situation, just repeat the mantra, let love guide my way. Because you will always be making the right choice. You'll always be heading in the right direction. And everyone around you will benefit equally. So when given the opportunity, just say, let love guide your way.
So I think love can be expressed in so many ways. It could be just saying thank you. It could be just saying I appreciate you. It could be saying I love you. Or it could be tangible, giving something that the person need or they can be blessed with. So I think it goes both ways. I think when you give or you're coming from a place of kindness, I think you always should be as kind as you possibly can in the simplest of ways. For example, just saying it, just expressing it. And I believe once you take that baby step, eventually it would entice you to do even more. I really believe it can just go from a very basic concept of saying to an even bigger concept of giving or doing. To me, that is what love is.
As far as the act of kindness, for me, my act of kindness is in my art. So basically, the message is let love guide your way. It's a mantra, and I hope you use it. Thank you.
There is kindness, and it needs to be spread. Universal love, I guess it's being kind to others. It's taking care of each other in a way that spreads good and a mutual respect.